at 1 o'clock. And we're going to start here. We're going to start with Obafemi challenging, not challenging, Obafemi going one-on-one with Jey Uso in the King of the Ring finals. Now, in the King of the Ring tournament, Obafemi, this is here you see the bracket. Obafemi won his fatal four-way match, and then will go into the next round to defeat Dominic Mysterio. Jey Uso would go on to defeat win his fatal four-way match, and he will defeat Javon Evans in the semifinals match to end up in the finals with Obafemi. Now, when it comes to this match, I personally, as you guys know, that I've been very critical of bloodline fatigue. And this was a shoo-in, I thought, for Obafemi to win. But with what things are going on with the bloodline at this moment in time, I'm starting to think that this is here for Jey Uso to kind of win. I'm going to pick Obafemi, but I do see a way Jey Uso wins this match because of how things are transpiring with the bloodline. Jacob Fatu in the bloodline, as you always know, Jimmy's always the one that's down for all the things that's going on. You know, he's the glue guy. Jay's been essentially pretty much a crash out when it comes to the bloodline. But I do think Obafemi will win. I do think that idea that I had that he wins King of the Ring, Lesnar interferes. Well, not Lesnar interferes. He wins King of the Ring. He challenges Lesnar, title match versus career, night 1, faces Roman night 2. And he comes out as a star. Everything's forgiven for what they did to him, having to face Brock Lesnar yet again. So I personally think that's the way they need to go. But will they go that way? I am not sure. Because like I said, with everything that's going on with the bloodline right now, I can 100% see that a way for Jey Uso to become king of the ring because of how the bloodline is being presented. And there could be you could possibly see some friction between Roman and Jey Uso. But I am not for Jey Uso winning this match at all. I'm not. So I am going to go with Obafemi to win the King of the Ring because I think that's the most best thing you can do in this situation. And I also think that they have to rectify what they did to Obafemi at the last Clash pay-per-view. They just have to, because there's no way that you have this guy halt all his momentum after that big moment at WrestleMania, and then you have him lose to Brock Lesnar. The only way to rectify that is have him face Brock night 1, night 2 beat Roman or whoever champion he faces. Because he even told Jay, look, tell Roman I'm coming for him. He's next. But I am going to go Obafemi, and I do think that Obafemi will go on and do what I said, and that's face Brock Lesnar night 1, title match versus career, and then go on to beat Roman Reigns at night 2 of SummerSlam. Because I said I was beating a dead horse about, look, this needs to be the summer about these young guys. But clearly has not played out that way. And it's going to play out, and hopefully it plays out to be the summer of Obafemi at least. Because this is what they need. We need some fresh blood, and the fans want it. The fans will lose their minds if they see these two face off. And I think this needs to be the SummerSlam main event. And to make Obafemi that star, beat Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns in a weekend is the absolutely perfect story you could tell. So I'm going to go with Obafemi to become the King of the Ring. Next, Liv Morgan, top 5 DOA. She's going to take on Io Sky in the Queen of the Ring finals. Now, in the Queen of the Ring tournament, Liv Morgan would win her fatal four-way match, then defeat Charlotte Flair. Io Sky will win her fatal four-way match and defeat fellow Judgment Day member of Liv Morgan, Raquel Rodriguez. So, when it comes to the whole Liv Morgan storyline in this tournament, a lot of people, they've been very critical about how WWE has booked Liv Morgan in her championship run. And I 100% agree. She has not defended the title. I believe the first time she defended the title was on a non-televised event. And it seemed like they haven't really had anything to do with Liv Morgan. We constantly keep talking about the return of Stephanie Vaquer, this and that. I had a whole storyline with the fallout of the Judgment Day with Roxy and Finn, but Finn's shipped off to SmackDown, so that apparently isn't going to happen anymore. Now, what else can they come out of this? Now, me and Eric talked about how much of a boss move it actually would be if Liv actually did enter this thing. It's like, look, I want it all, because it's similar to when Brock Lesnar was the WWE champion, entered the Royal Rumble match. He said, look, I'm going to WrestleMania and I'm winning it all. So this is a very admirable thing to actually do here. And as always, Judgment Day, one of the most interesting stories on TV, because what they continue to do. Both women in the Judgment Day were in this tournament. Both lost. Roxy earlier, Raquel in the semifinals. And Liv is all about herself winning this match. Liv even tried to divert Raquel away, talking about, look, you can go after Soul. You can go after Soul for the WIC title. And she's like I said, Liv's been all about her, not about the others. Showed no sympathy for Roxy. Shows no sympathy for Raquel. Even when they both advanced to the semifinal matches, all she kept talking about was her and Dom being king and queen. But now Liv's in the finals against Io. And Io, interesting thing, because also me and Eric, we also picked Io to win this originally. But with the injury to Rhea, it kind of it's very strange, because all right, it's like, okay, if Io wins here, is she going to run it back with Liv at SummerSlam? I don't think that's the case. I really don't. I might go contrarian here, and I kind of think Liv's going to win this. We keep talking about the Stephanie Vaquer thing. Will she eventually come back at this event and cost her the champion, cost her the queen of the ring? But at this point, there is a very strong chance that Liv can come out on top here. There really is, especially what was up in the air with Rhea Ripley at this moment in time from her injury perspective. So I am going to go. You know what? I am going to go with. I'm torn, because, like I said, I think the better storyline, and the problem with WWE is their storylines have not been the best. I can see a storyline where Liv wins, and then she even becomes even more unfathomable with the Judgment Day, and it causes them to turn on her. I can see that happening. I really can, but I just can't really see them not putting Io in this spot. So I am going to go with Io to become Queen of the Ring, but I would not be shocked if Liv wins this. I really would not at all. Now, next up, we have WUS title on the line. Tiffany Stratton's going to defend her championship against Jade Cargill. This match has become something that's started in the last week and a half. Jade Cargill, she attacked Tiffany Stratton in a tag team match against B-Fab and Michin, and was granted a WUS championship match. Now, we talked about that injury when it comes to Rhea Ripley, and how Tiffany replaced her in the poster for the Night of Champions event, and now we have this match to get Tiffany on the card. Now, I do think Tiffany does. Excuse me. I do think Tiffany is the one to take. Tiffany's going to take this match. I do think she's going to be Jade Cargill, because I think this is just essentially filler. There's not been a lot of build to this at all. There's not really reason for this to happen, because this should be pretty much possibly a Chelsea Green spot or anybody else's spot, because this whole Jade thing came out the blue. This is not something that was on our radar. We saw Jade interacting with Charlotte, and we still have not gotten that Charlotte Jade match one-on-one yet. But this is something that I think they're actually going to they're using as filler, because they had to get Tiffany Stratton on the card because of the Rhea Ripley injury. So I don't have personally much to say about this in particular. I'm going to go with Tiffany Stratton to retain her WUS championship. Now, next up, we have Seth Rollins, Braun Breaker inside this 15-foot high steel cage. And Seth Rollins, he was actually on ESPN First Take today, and he had this to say about the steel cage match that he has with Braun this weekend. Fair use.
So there's no DQ, there's no countouts. As a matter of fact, you can win the match by escaping the cage. Now, sometimes in these cage matches, somebody wants to get out. I honestly don't think there's a situation here where either of us want to get out of this cage. Now, when the push comes to shove and it gets a little physical in there, one of us might want to get out of there in time to get the win. But at the end of the day, I think you're going to be looking at someone who wants to get pinned or submitted in this match. But there's no rope breaks. If you're in a submission, you can't get to the rope. You just got to survive. And I think that's going to be the name of the game, is how much can you take? And over the course of my career, I have been very good at enduring in these types of matches.
I spoke to Triple H chief content officer
so
the
that
other
was
day. We all know the 14-time champion that he was before he became an executive. And
all right, so that was Seth Rollins on First Take, talking about his steel cage match with Braun Breaker. And as you guys know, I'm a huge Braun Breaker fan. Before Braun Breaker's injury, I was singing his praises. I'm like, look, this is the year of Braun Breaker potentially becoming the heavyweight champion of the world or a WWE champion, but the injury derailed him. And that injury kind of lost his momentum. He had their match at Backlash, was excellent. Braun Breaker's breakout performance. Braun Breaker's had breakout moments, but he had yet to have that breakout match, and that's what he had at Backlash. And I don't think this will be any different. The only thing is, again, this kind of has SummerSlam implications written all over it, because Seth is also talking about he wants to get back his heavyweight championship of the world, and Roman has that championship. And he never lost it. So, again, when it comes to the whole Obafemi winning King of the Ring, that throws a caveat in it, because I will believe Obafemi is going to go after Roman, and then you hear them talking about that's the WrestleMania main event if they can't get Dwayne, and then should Braun Breaker win this match, because Braun Breaker is the young up and coming star? What would Seth Rollins do if he does have a loss to Braun Breaker coming out of this? So a lot of interesting things are coming, a lot of interesting takes you can have when it comes to this story. And I'm not sure where you guys will be going to, but I'm leaning towards that Seth Rollins wins this match, because he had the sit down interview on Raw Monday night where he discussed that he has to put an end to what he created. And with help of the Street Profits, and he also did help the Street Profits win the Tag Team Championships on Raw. With the help of the Street Profits, they kind of put him in his place, got him back to where he needs to be. And now Seth Rollins will go on to face Braun Breaker in the cage. I'm going to go with Seth Rollins to win this match, even though Braun should win, but I am going to go with Seth to defeat Braun Breaker. Next up, United States Championship is going to be on the line as Trick Williams defended his U.S. title against Ricky Shanks. But we're going to go somewhere first. So, because shout out to Trick, because Trick had a hell of a weekend. Trick Williams recently, he got married over the weekend to Lash Legend, as you know. How we feel about Lash on this show. So Trick recently did get married over the weekend, and I'll have to pull that up. But yeah, so before I pull that up, so Trick Williams, the U.S. title on the line. Ricky Saints, he would defeat Carmelo Hayes in a number one contenders match to get this opportunity. Now, when it comes to Ricky Saints has not gotten the best response on the main roster. He just hasn't. And is it a chance here where we could possibly see Trick drop the title to Ricky Saints? How big of a deal do they feel Ricky Saints will be? That's the question, because at this point, Trick Williams doesn't really necessarily need that title. Now, if you want to just sit there and try to test out the whole idea, the whole Ricky Saints experiment, then they can. But what would that mean for Trick, even though Trick doesn't necessarily need the championship? So I'm going to go on I'm going to go with the long one here. I'm going to go with Ricky Saints to win the U.S. title. I am, shockingly. I think that he's going to have – I think he needs – I think they're trying to really make Ricky Saints something. I really do. And I think this is where Ricky Saints will win the U.S. title, and I think they'll try to make a big deal, and we'll see where things go, because we also still have the whole Trick Williams and Melo thing as well that they still have not really gone back to, but now Ricky Saints has inserted himself into the situation. So I'm going to go with Ricky Saints to win. I think they're trying to make something out of Ricky Saints on the main roster. So now I got it up now, guys. So we'll divert real quick. We'll go to Trick Williams' wedding over the weekend. Look at that lemon pepper stepper. Look at him and Lash. Oh, hold on. Because WWE don't play, y'all. Look at Lash. I mean, look at Trick. Looks like a great time. So salute to Lash and Trick on tying the knot over the weekend. So next up, we have for the WWE Championship the triple threat match: Cody Rhodes, Gunther, Sami Zayn. Now, Gunther, brilliantly, who I thought I might add, he inserted Sami Zayn as the referee. Thought Sami Zayn would call it right down the middle. Match gets restarted, and Sami Zayn costs Gunther the WWE Championship. And now we're here. He thought he hired the right person, but he didn't. Sami Zayn said, "No matter what, I had next." So now we have the triple threat match. Now, like I said, this is not what I want for Cody at all, but this is what we're getting. I thought it was interesting with the inclusion of Sami Zayn as the referee, and I don't want to say they botched it. They made it more interesting, but we do know that we were eventually going to get a triple threat match, and that's how we are here now. So I'm going to go. I don't have much to say about this match. I don't. So I think I'm going to go with Cody Rhodes to retain the championship. And then I think Cody Rhodes will get that one-on-one match with Sami Zayn at one of the events we have in July coming up. Because we have a Saturday night's main event coming up. I don't think this will be the SummerSlam match, but I do think Sami Zayn will finally get that one-on-one match with Cody. But do not expect Cody to lose the title heading into SummerSlam. I predicted Gunther last week. It did not happen, but at this point, I really do not see anybody else winning the championship. So let me know what you guys think in the comments about Cody Rhodes. Well, I didn't have Cody Rhodes. Let me know what you guys think in the comments about your predictions for Night of Champions. Leave all your predictions in the comments, please.